Alright, so in the last video I told you guys I wanted to go over what would the cost be to build a Supra. What would it cost be to own a Supra? I kind of wanted to break that down because there's a lot of people say like, it's a holy grail car, or it's out of my cost, it costs too much, or why does this cost so much, or why did you buy this, or why did you do this? So I kind of wanted to break it down, maybe start off first of what the initial cost of the car is, which I kind of talked about in the other video, but I kind of want to go a little bit more in depth in how I got to this point where I'm at today. So first things first, what was the cost of the vehicle? What is the initial cost to get into this? Now, let's start off very, very detailed with this. I searched for many, many months, many, many years looking for a specific car. I wanted it to be Alpine Silver, which is a paint code that is offered by Toyota, which was offered on, I believe, the 1994 to 99 Celica and the 93.5 to 98 Toyota Supra here in the USA. I'm not sure if until 1997 in the USA. In 1998, they started to offer the Quicksilver color, which is very sought after, and that's way out of my price range, which I could get into that also. The initial cost for this car was $11,000 exactly. That's right. I paid $11,000 for this car in 2011, mind you. This was 6 years ago. Now, in 2011, the cost of entry was much, much lower. The economy was down. It just wasn't nearly the same. You could buy a twin-turbo 6-speed back then for $25,000. Let's put in perspective. At the same time, I was looking at an automatic twin-turbo car with KW coilovers on it, under 100,000 miles, was $17,500. Now, mind you, it was tan interior and it was red, not really my style, but that puts in perspective of how cheap the cars were at the time. So, what was the cost? $11,000. I bought the car, non-turbo, had some damage. The front bumper was a little screwed up, rear bumper was messed up, had hail damage, the interior had cigarette burns in it. It was not perfect. So don't think that $11,000 I got a mint Supra. The car had 130,000 miles on it also. They were still expensive, but not like the other day. I see shells, a shell, mind you, selling for $15,000 to $20,000. So to me, this was a steal. So that was the initial cost. I had to drive the whole way down to, I believe, a little bit past Northern Virginia, about 2 to 3 hour drive to get to the gentleman who had the car. This is what he called his beater at the time. He had, I don't know, 9 or 10 other cars that are much nicer than this. So I think I got a good deal because of that also. It was a lot of money for me at the time. Being honest, I wasn't very wealthy by any stretch of the means. I had just finished college, but this is my dream. I had just bought my house at the same time, which is kind of ironic. If you want to hear real perspective, I sold a Lexus I had at the time on Friday, signed for my house on Saturday, and I picked this up Sunday. I was always told by my father, you can never have a second car, you can never really have a sports car until you bought a house. So I made damn sure as soon as I bought that house, I got my dream car. I did not fuck around and did not wait for the car to come up, so I went sure and got it as quick as I could. So that goes over what the initial cost of the car is. Now, what happened after that? Well, I started modifying. So the car stayed non-turbo for 3 to 4 years. Actually 4 years pretty much exactly. So let's go over what cost I did there. So initially I started doing little things. What I first did was, which you can't see them right now, is I started putting in OEM parts. I put in 97, 98 headlights were right alone that are $1,200. Now, I had a friend that's local to me who had a set that were had a few nicks in them and stuff, nothing bad, but sold them to me for $300. I could not beat the deal at the time and I purchased them. Right after that, I also bought a HKS titanium exhaust, HKS carbon titanium to be exact, from HKS USA, which had just went out of business, so I had to wait 3.5 months to get that. That was around $750 shipped to my house. Then I bought Titan Motorsports sway bars for the car. That kind of bought those on a whim, not thinking about it. I didn't even have coilovers in the car, but I wanted to stiffen them up a little bit. I think I paid $550 for those. Then I bought a Duloc rear strut bar and a Duloc rear crossbar. Now, if you guys don't know what a Duloc rear crossbar is, it is a bar that goes in between the vehicle. Actually, let me show you real quick. Okay guys, so this is what a Duloc or a rear crossbar is. It actually runs in between the back and the front seats of the car. Now what this does is help stiffen up the chassis. This car is a Target top Supra, and they're actually known to be very unrigid. That's why the hardtops are actually very sought after in the US, because these cars actually don't ride that well. When you take the top off especially, this actually helps a ton. With the top off without this, the car actually rides very poorly. So not many people know this, but the Target top itself is not very well designed. It actually bolts in. It's not a quick disconnect system. These actually bolt in and out. I'm not sure if I can even get that zoomed in here. if you guys can slightly see, it actually is a bolt in there that holds the target top on itself. It is not the best system, but it works for what it is, and it looks very cool when you're driving down the highway and cruising along and you got the wind blowing in your hair, or in my case, my bald head. So that's the Dual Road crossbar. I just wanted to go over that with you real quick. Then after that, I ended up buying a front strut bar that I ended up selling because I didn't really like it. I think it made it worse, in my opinion, than anything else, so I ended up selling it because I just didn't really like it at all. For that, I actually stayed like that for a while, bought HIDs for pretty cheap, like 50 bucks off eBay, did little things here and there, replaced a lot of the OEM interior parts, bought new dash panels, bought new seat covers, or not seat covers, but new carpet items, new center dash, stuff like that. Just trying to make the car a little bit nicer. Then bought LEDs for the dash. Had a trunk mat made. I had a custom rear trunk mat made that some people have never seen. So let me show you guys that real quick too. So this is the stock, or the not stock, I should say, custom trunk mat I had made. It was made by a local sound shop here in Waynesboro, PA. They sound so good. I wanted something that would replace the stock carpet mat, as the stock carpet rear mat is no longer made. This also is stiff enough that it holds weight itself, and you do not need a spare tire in the back or anything to support up underneath of it. So I can remove the spare tire, everything, and you cannot tell the difference, and I can actually put weight on it. I throw gym clothes, or if I go for a long drive or something, I can put a ton of weight back there and not even think about it. So if anyone's interested in this, I am trying to sell it. If you have any friends out there that might be interested in this, this will fit any Mark IV Supra. So please guys, if anyone knows of anyone that would like to purchase this item, let me know, and I'd appreciate it. So yeah, that's the custom trunk mat and everything with the car, and then it stayed stock fuel, stock engine for quite some time, put like a little K&N filter on it, nothing special. Now let's go to 2 years ago here, and this is where it started to really amp up. So 2 years from this point, I decided, all right, let's go ahead and man up, we're gonna swap the car. So I started looking for parts and started looking around. So let's go over the engine here a little bit. So now the engine you're looking at right now is the same exact engine I bought 2 years ago from a guy named Mike in New Jersey. Now I bought this engine actually with already a single turbo setup on it. I paid $1,700 for the engine. It is a non-turbo 2JZ engine. Now let's go a little bit more detail on that. So most people, you're not going to be able to find that. That was a very rarity for me. I happened to find it on the Facebook page called 2J Discussion Boards, and it just happened to be a good deal. I think a couple other people tried to get it quick, and I ended up getting it. I ended up actually selling the whole entire Chinese or eBay style turbo kit for another $1,700. So I actually got the engine pretty much free and clear, which is amazing. So I pretty much got a 2JZ engine for free. Now mind you, nowadays, the average cost for a non-VVTi head 2JZ motor is between $2,500 to $2,800. Now, if you want a variable valve timing or a VVTi head style 2JZ, they sell between $1,700 to $2,000. That's the initial cost to get into it. Now, that's a stock motor that comes with an automatic transmission. No manual comes with it. Now, in my case, I ran the W58, which is back in it right now just to get the car started, for 2 years or 12,000 miles and never had an issue. I ran it with a spec 2+ clutch, and everything else was bone stock, including the rear end and drive shaft. I never touched any of it. That's what I did. I left the motor completely stock cams, top to bottom, and left it that way for quite some time. Ended up buying this tile blow-up valve, the Borg-Warner turbo. I also had a custom pie cut downpipe made. All those items together cost some money too. So the Borg-Warner turbo is $550. The intercooler piping, the downpipe and mid-pipe I had made, that cost right there was around $900. I ran a stock ECU in the car, so that never really mattered to me. I had a custom tweaked performance harness made for the car. That was $900 because it was a Christmas special at the time. The Mishimoto radiator was $210 shipped. The radiator hard pipe I had bought for the car, that was $70 on Black Friday. I had this powder coated for 30 bucks. Friend did it for me. It's not the best, but it looks okay. I also had the throttle body neck shade by the same guy who did the welding for the intercooler piping, which is not on the car right now, and the downpipe. I think he did that for me for like 20 bucks. He was also a close friend. Now, I also bought some other items at that time that wasn't quite necessary. I could have got them used, but I went and spent the money instead because I thought they looked nice. I went and bought this Powerhouse Racing power steering fluid reservoir. This was $250. Now, it comes with nice AN fittings, and it looks a little bit prettier, and I kind of wanted a nicer look at the time. But for the most part, everything else stayed the same. I ran stock injectors, I ran a stock non-turbo fuel pump because I just wanted to get the car running and making noise. I didn't know enough about cars, and I'll probably get a bunch of flack for this, but I didn't want to screw anything up as I was doing a lot of this on my own, not knowing anything about this. Mind you, before I did all this, only thing I've ever done to a car was an intake. So I went from putting an intake on a vehicle to doing a full engine swap, doing the wiring, setting everything up, and pretty much doing it myself, mind you, with a few other friends that came over, Spencer, Cole, Mike Bolka, Kyle Knowles, Matt Sharp, Austin Conrad. Those guys were a great help to me when I was doing this swap. So that's what the initial cost was, and I ran that car like that for about 2 years till we got to where I'm at today. The car started to really leak oil, and I think I didn't replace a couple of the seals, and I regretted it. So when I built this new house and I finally moved in, I thought, all right, let's make the decision now to go to this point. Let's do what I wanted to do initially and get it all done. So now this is the second round, as I would call it, and this is where I'm at today. So this time around, I went ahead and powder coated a lot of things. The Powerhouse Racing intake, Powerhouse Racing hard pipe. These are custom Titan Motorsports brackets also that I had powder coated, and the Mishimoto radiator. Now I'm actually waiting for my custom OCD valve work covers to get back. He's powder coating them black again because the anodizing on it was black, but it was starting to really fade. So once I get those items back, I'll finish it up. I guess one other thing I wanted to tell you too, I had made custom stainless steel brake lines for the car. Now the stainless steel brake lines are hard lines. These are not braided lines. I can show you that here now also. If you guys can see here, here's the tucked brake lines. They are stainless steel hard lines. It's very simplistic. Instead of running like 6 or 7 hard lines across the back, I now have one singular stainless steel line running across the back here, if you can see it. I also have no ABS pump anymore also, which is something I really didn't want to have. So I wanted to get rid of that, and it helped clean things up. Plus the stainless steel looks very sharp and shiny. I thought about having those powder coated also, but all I could think of what the headache that is to take these things on and off and then bleed the brakes, so I decided against that. Some other things I decided to do, I had the air motor fuel pressure regulator. This time I also put a Walbro 450 pump in it. So now you guys are probably wondering, what cost am I at right now? What is my in-depth cost? Because I have a Walbro 450 in it, I have all this powder coating done. Where am I at right now? Well, as of I looked yesterday, I'm looking at, just in Toyota OEM parts to replace a few things, I'm about $360 into it this time to do the seals, head gaskets, replace and update a lot of the stuff on it. It was about $300 alone. That's just for the Toyota parts. Now for aftermarket wise, I'm around $4,022 this time, just over the 4,000 mark as of right now. Now I have to calculate on a few more dollars here for the powder coat and stuff, but that's where I'm at right now. In my opinion, that doesn't seem too bad, but when you start to realize how much $4,000, how long that goes with other items that can last much longer and actually have much more purpose than sitting in a vehicle that doesn't get driven all that often, that's where it starts to, really register with you that, am I really spending the money in the correct way? Yes, no, but this is my life, this is my hobby, and this is what I love doing. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. My wife knows this, my friends know this. I've gotten flack for it, but it's my dream. This is what I love to do. I live and breathe this every single day. I used to be a massive snowboarder, and I've kind of given that up because of the cost in it to help put money in this instead. Maybe one day when I have kids again, I'll get into snowboarding, but until that point, I think cars are going to be my life until that time comes. I love everything about this car. So yeah, that was for that time. Now the initial swap, I believe I had another like $3,500 in that, including the engine and everything. If you don't count me selling the turbo kit to get the $1,700 back, I had around $3,500 in that. As I've told you, I had a stock ECU. Now, also this time I did an AIM Infinity with the car. The AIM Infinity plus the patch harness and everything, that alone was $2,200. So when you go standalone, it is not cheap. Then you have extra sensors that go along with it. You have the ride bands, you have fuel pressure sensor, oil pressure sensor, you have flex fuel sensors. Then you need the custom wiring harness to go for that, and the engine bay, which costs money. So you're looking at probably another $500 to $600 right there in sensors and wiring. It's not cheap doing this. We also have a thing we call Supra tax. So the turbo manifold on the car was $900. Now I got that at cost, mind you. That's what it cost the company to make it supposedly. That's what he told me, so on and so forth. You can buy a full race manifold for a Honda for like $700. A normal turbo manifold for this car from Powerhouse Racing, $2,100. $2,100, if not more. Some of their V-band ones are $2,400, $2,500 for this car. It can get outrageously expensive. We call it super tax. Cams for this, I got these at cost, and those were $600 for cams. Now, if I wanted GSC cams, I'd be looking at $1,100 to $1,200 in cams alone. Just little things. Anything that's specific to this car is always outrageously expensive. Now the 2JZs become common and a lot of those parts can be swapped over, but anything that's specific to the car, like I said, the power steering reservoir for $250, exhaust for the car being almost $1,000. I bought a used TT rear end for this car. A used rear end, mind you. I had to pay $2,200 for that, and that was considered a steal at the time. So owning one of these cars is not just buying it, but it's just like people say about supercars. This is no supercar, mind you. This, in my eyes, it's not. It's more like a muscle car of Japan. But we have what we call super tax. So anything else, if you see it for any other car, this is usually twice or 3 times the amount for this car. Now the car is much more rare, so that factors into that also. They only made 10,000 of these cars, so that factors into it too. So that's why I want to give you a breakdown, guys. So we'll go over it one more time here just to go over it and give you guys a better understanding. The initial cost of the car was $11,000. I probably put over when it was non-turbo, I probably put about $2,000 to $2,100 in the car with the exhaust, sway bars, things like that. The initial swap, I put about $3,500 to $4,000 into it. The second time around, this time I'm doing it, I'm about $44,000, and it's probably going to go up a little bit more. And then the AEM on top of it is another $2,200. Now I haven't gone to tuning yet either, so I'll have to see what cost of that was. Last time I had a friend, Justin McLeet, help me out and show me how to tune and get the car set up and running. Now this time I'm going to take it to a dyno, and he's going to remote tune it. So I want to give you guys the breakdown as best I could. If you have any, and I mean any more questions, please guys let me know in the comments. I will try to get back to you best I can. If I do miss you, I deeply apologize. I'm also very busy. I have a full-time job. This is not what I do all the time. So I will try to get back to you as fast as I can. All right, guys, I think that's it for this one here. I want to give you guys the breakdown of everything and what the cost would be. I appreciate everyone and all the feedback you guys give me. I felt like this is the video you guys wanted to see next. I'm always going to try and keep constant updates. My videos aren't the highest quality. I realize that. There's some things that are a little wonky in it. I am not a photographer. I'm not a videographer. I do this for fun. I do it out of something I enjoy every day, and it seems to help a bunch of people. When I see comments and someone says, I didn't understand this, or I don't know how many people got back to me about the oil pan seal that no one knew about. So it's stuff like that that makes me happy and smile that I got to help someone out to realize a mistake that they could go back and fix before it caused a detrimental issue to them. So it's stuff like that that makes me extremely happy, and I'm glad I can help other people out. Again, guys, thank you as usual. I appreciate all the love. Like, subscribe, and share this channel, and please help me out if you can so I can get this love to someone else and hopefully help them with their Supra. I enjoy everyone's comments. Thank you very much, and have a great day.